Hello and welcome to this video review of the translation program OmegaT version 3.1.3. There are quite a few changes in this version. However, I'm going to cover only those that I find most important from a translator's perspective. And the first one is adding file names to alternative translations. Now this option is configurable. Here's what this means. In older versions like this one, creating alternative translations is based on the file name. So OmegaT uses the file name as a sort of identifier to know that this alternative translation should be inserted in a specific file. And when the file name is different, OmegaT does not insert this translation. What this means, however, is that when you change the file name, for example, when you forget about this issue, this results in OmegaT failing to insert the alternative translation when you actually need it to insert it. As a result, quite often you would actually prefer that OmegaT does not rely on the file name to store and insert alternative translations. And the latest version 3.1.3 actually allows you to do this. To enable this behavior, you can go to Project, Properties, and File Filters. And here you can see this new checkbox, ignore file context. You enable it. Let's create an alternative translation now. Alright, we have a file name, but there is a hash sign in front of it, whereas in the previous version there was no hash sign. Note the file name. So it's comments.docx copy to XML. Now I'm going to run a search, and if I go to this segment, I can see that in a file with a different name, OmegaT inserts the same alternative translation. So because I enabled this checkbox, OmegaT now ignores the file name and inserts alternative translations regardless of the file name. The next enhancement is creating the project save TMX automatically in team projects. Previously, when you created a team project in a repository, for example in my case this is a SVN repository, you had to include an empty project save TMX in the OmegaT folder. Now OmegaT is supposed to be able to create it automatically, so you do not have to include it here manually. So when you save the project, you are not supposed to get this error message because OmegaT should create the project save TMX automatically. In my case, I'm getting this error message. I'm not sure why, but again, as I said, this is now OmegaT is now supposed to create it. So maybe you'd get better luck than me. The next addition is a new option called Go to Selected Match. Okay, previously, if you wanted to navigate to the segment of the match that displays in the fuzzy matches pane, for example, this fuzzy match number 1, I want to move to the source segment of this match within the project, I could only right-click and select Go to Segment Source. But now I have another option. I can also go to the Go To menu and select Source of Selected Match, which gives me the same result. I jump to the source segment of the fuzzy match that was displayed in the fuzzy matches. And the goal of this function is to add a shortcut later so that you can jump to a source segment of the fuzzy match by simply clicking a shortcut, pressing a shortcut. Another enhancement is a new option in the search window. This new option is displaying file names, and as the name implies, you can simply enable this checkbox, and whenever you run search, OmegaT will display also the file name where the match was found. Okay, so this is one file, another file, yet another file. That's it about the version of OmegaT 3.1.3. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you in some way, please help it in return by sharing a link to the blog post it is attached to on your site or in your social media, and the link to the blog post is mentioned in the description of this video. Bye.